Why are JavaScript logical operators like Boolean algebra? Imagine you're trying to make decisions in your code, like checking if a user is logged in and has admin rights. How does your code decide what to do next? Well, it uses something called logical operators. These are the tools that help your code evaluate multiple conditions at once. But have you ever wondered why these operators seem so familiar? That's because they are very much like something from mathematics called Boolean algebra. Boolean algebra is a branch of math that deals with true and false values. It uses simple operations like and, or, and not to combine these true or false values and produce new ones. JavaScript's logical operators, and, for or, and, for not, are built to follow the same rules. They evaluate expressions based on whether conditions are true or false, just like in Boolean algebra. Let's break it down. In Boolean algebra, variables can be true or false. When you combine two variables with and, the result is true only if both are true. If either one is false, the whole thing becomes false. JavaScript's and operator works the same way. If you write something like true and true, it results in true. But true and false results in false. The or operator returns true if at least one of the conditions is true. For example, true-false is true and false-false is false. The not operator simply inverts the value. If you have true, it becomes false and vice versa. These rules are not just random. They come from the truth tables used in Boolean algebra. Truth tables are charts that show all possible combinations of inputs and their outputs. They help us understand how and, or, and not work in every situation. JavaScript's logical operators follow these same rules exactly when working with true and false values. But here's a neat twist. JavaScript also allows these operators to work with other types of data, like numbers or strings. When used this way, they don't just return true or false. Instead, they return the actual value based on certain rules. For example, the and operator will return the first value if it's falsy, or the last value if all are truthy. The or operator returns the first truthy value it finds. This behavior is super useful for setting default values or controlling how your code runs without needing extra checks. So, in simple words, JavaScript logical operators are like Boolean algebra because they both work with true and false values and follow the same basic rules. They help you make decisions in your code by combining conditions logically. They also follow the truth table patterns, which makes their behavior predictable and reliable. Understanding this connection makes writing complex conditional statements much easier. It's like having a set of mathematical rules that your code can follow to make smart decisions every time.